Shalom from Israel. I'm Avi Melamed, founder of Inside the Middle East Institute, ITME. This is first part of two parts video talking about the bitter outcomes or examples of bitter outcomes of the failure of national statehood across the Middle East. There are different features and characteristics of that failure, like for example, the strengthening of semi-state entities at the expense of the hosting homelands. Another example is the deep corruption. Another example is the dysfunctioning of governmental agencies, failing to provide services to the people. Today I will start with one example, and this is Lebanon. 5 years ago, in August 4, 2020, a major blast rocked Beirut, the capital of Lebanon. Hundreds, some people say maybe thousands, of dangerous chemical materials that were stored illegally, non-inspected, in Beirut port exploded. Those materials used, among other things, for the production of explosives. The outcome of this major explosion was devastating. Large parts of Beirut downtown and its port simply erased. More than 200 people killed, hundreds were injured. Thousands of apartments and commercial assets were significantly damaged. This was such a traumatic event that the Lebanese call it Beirutshima. Following that explosion, the Lebanese government ordered the establishing of an inquiry committee. However, everybody knew right there from the beginning who is beyond it. Those materials were stored by the Hezbollah. It was stored in the port of the Beirut, out of the reach of the Lebanese government, non-inspected. The purpose of those materials apparently was to be part of the production of explosives used by Assad regime against the Syrian people during the war in Syria. Hezbollah was supporting Assad. Obviously, Hezbollah denied any connection to this explosion. However, very few Lebanese buy it. They know exactly that in the end of the day, it is Hezbollah's responsibility. That story illustrates how a local factor that acts as a semi-state within a state is basically dictating its own rules and its own agenda, ignoring the rest. Moreover, when the Lebanese government ordered the establishment of this inquiring committee, the committee started to interview some key witnesses. Some of those key witnesses were assassinated. The picture is quite clear. 5 years after this major blast, Lebanese are still looking for justice. The families of the victims of this major blast are still looking for justice, not only compensation. As of now, justice is beyond the reach of their hands. I'm Avi Melamed. Thank you for watching.